Hey there, Heather Freeman here with the Painted Playground. I get to teach women how to have more fun painting with acrylics. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining me and taking some time out of your day. So I am just painting some more flower blossoms. It's my favorite thing to paint right now. When you're joining me, tell me where you're coming in from, where you're watching from. I'll always love to hear that. And you can share where you're watching from and paint along with me today. So my daughter Bailey, she's a runner, and she's been running since she was in middle school is when she started. And it's been really fun to watch kind of how that's taken off for her. And she's really come to love running. And I'm a runner. I didn't expect her to. I thought she would be into some other things. But she's really enjoyed running and hanging out with her friends, her other friends that love to run. So it's been really cool to watch. And, she was just starting her track season when everything started to happen, and the schools were closed down, and so she it definitely put a damper on the whole track season and what was happening with that. There we go. But so her running's been really cool because ever since she started, we kind of would run together on occasion, and it's always a really special time for me as a mom that she still would like to hang out with me, and even now we still run together. And every summer we've been planning different kind of like epic runs to do together, and we did one a couple years ago outside of San Diego, and this is this monster run, climbing some mountains. And then last summer, we did Glacier National Park together. That was like a half marathon in Glacier. It was gorgeous and just so special to be able to experience that together. And so I felt so bad that her track season there's a lot of unknowns and it's still unknown whether it will still happen or not. And so I think she was feeling a little down about that and just kind of took a big break from running. And it wasn't until her awesome coach called, which was super sweet, and had a one-on-one conversation with her and really encouraged her to get back into your routine, start running again. There's so many benefits to running. You can, balances out your day. It helps you deal with the stress of what's going on, and, can give you a good break. And he's like, I don't know, we might still have our track season, so it'd be a good idea to stay in shape. And you never know, we might still get to compete and race. And I was feeling so fortunate that her coach would make such a personal call and talk to her one-on-one. I thought that was amazing. I'm just so fortunate. The people that are in my kids' lives, they're teachers and coaches. She's got some really awesome people. Both my girls do. And so, she got off the phone call with that, and we kind of talked about it a little bit. And she's like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it on my calendar on Monday. I think it was a Friday that he called. She said, on Monday, I'm going to get out and I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to start running more regularly again. And wouldn't you know it, Monday rolled around. We hung out that weekend, did some walks around the neighborhood and whatnot. Monday rolled around and she did her school day and then came upstairs and was like, I'm going out. She had her sneakers on. She had her gear on. She was ready to rock and roll. And sure enough, she headed out. She went out for, I don't know, it must have been at least an hour, if not more, and came back and was completely tuckered out. Hangry. I don't know if you've ever been around a teenager that's hungry, but she gets really cranky, and like, I mean, so do I. So it's not saying she's not the only one, but it can get a little scary. It can get a little scary to have a hungry teenager in the house. So anyway, she was wiped out. It was definitely worth her getting out for a run, and she was happy she did it. And she just ran until she was done, and came home and tuckered out and had a really good night's sleep that night. And I just thought, that is such a good reminder for making time to get to the canvas, and making that commitment. It can be easy to let those things slide and let them go and say, oh, I'm going to save it for another day. I'm not going to do it. And just to lose that motivation, right? To do that, even though it's something that's good for yourself and it is, it can sometimes, when life gets overwhelming and there's a lot going on, it can be easier just to say, you know what, I'm just going to forget this today. When honestly, probably the best thing is to do it, right? So, the first thing is making that commitment. She got off the phone, and part of it too, for sure, is having that support, right? So she has an awesome coach who really has her best interests in mind. It's not about going to the meet and, if the season does happen and doing really well at the track meet, which if that happens, that would be great. But for him, it was about, he really cared about his athletes, and he wanted them to still stay running so that they could have some, good balance in their lives, keep things in balance with everything that's going on, and, doing school from home now and not getting to see their friends. So all those stresses are happening, just like stresses happen in our normal everyday lives. It's even compounded more right now. So, so making that commitment, and she actually, wrote it on her calendar. So that is my first tip for you, is for getting to the canvas, is to make that commitment. Say yes to your play and write it down on your calendar. If you don't carve out that time, it's so easy for that time just to come and go. And so many other things could be pulling you in all different kinds of directions. So it's so important to get it down on your calendar, make that commitment to yourself. And then it's just so much easier when that time comes. You can pop up a little reminder, make a little reminder in your calendar, which I often do, and to remind yourself, this is your time. These, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, that's your time to create and to play. So make that commitment and do something concrete, like writing it in your calendar. And then if you need a little extra boost, is giving yourself a reminder. So saying, hey, this is happening. Hey, Grace. Not only making that commitment on your calendar, but giving yourself that reminder so that you follow through. And that's the tip number 2, is to make it easy to follow through. So if that reminder helps you to follow through, set that alarm on your calendar. All right. And, following through is all about, once you make that commitment, then you get to the canvas and you start playing. And to help you follow through, you can always set another alarm that says, okay, I know I've got all these other things going on, but I am committing to 10 minutes. So I'm going to set my alarm for 10 minutes. And you know what that does for you? It allows your brain, the logical thinking side of your brain, to shut off, and allows for that creative side to turn on, so that you can really dive in and get into the flow of things without that logical side of your brain saying, but you have this to do, and you have this to do, and you have that to do. It shuts that off, so that's not talking anymore. And you can say, all right, my timer's set. I don't have to worry about paying attention to the time. I can really just let myself go and start playing. And when it's time to quit, it's time to quit, because my alarm's going to tell me to. So that's how you can help yourself follow through, is number 1, making that commitment, carving out that time. And then 2 is to set an alarm so that says, it says you're done with playing. You've had your space, you've had your time, and now it's time to get back into life and do all those other things that you need to do. And that way, the third thing is that allows you to play until you're tuckered out, right? So you're not worried so much about, like I said, you're able to let that left side of your brain play. Did I get that right? The left side is the creative side. I always flip those around sometimes. But the logical piece, that part of your brain that says, you got to do this, that, it shuts off so that you can just let your creative side play and just let go and get into the creative space that you so desperate, you want. It's great. It's so fulfilling to be able to spend some time at the canvas getting creative, and it fills you up in a way like nothing else does. And for Bailey, that was running. She came back and I could just sense it. She was much more laid back. Okay, after she ate, right? I said she came back hungry and tired. But once I got some food in her, she was just so much more relaxed and just comfortable with herself and funny. So it really helps when we take time for ourselves and we give ourselves those things that we really want to do. And for us creatives, it's getting to the canvas and it's painting and it's having fun and it's getting into that flow. When we're done with that time, it is so rewarding. Not only with what we've painted, but just that time to refuel and feel better. And we can approach the rest of the day with such a different perspective that's just more open and centered and balanced. It really makes a huge difference. So I'm just adding a few little highlights to my leaves, playing around with some, mixing a little bit of a couple of different greens, just seeing where it goes. So, so I hope these tips help you, and I hope it helps you get to the canvas and start having fun painting. Because there's nothing for me, there's nothing like that creative time at the canvas. And if you'd like a little bit more, I have got an awesome free tutorial right now. It'll take you step by step through the painted play process. And you just have to submit your email and you'll have instant access to that tutorial. It'll get delivered straight to your inbox. All right, you guys. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time at the canvas. All right, bye for now.